Yo, 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 what is good, friends, fam, and all you lovely people out there? This is Thrash Talk Podcast. My name is Keith the Grizz Gabel, and I'm here with my boy Travis No Sleep for another episode. Again, Thrash Talk Podcast. Let's go. Sleep. How you doing today, brother? How you feeling?
Dude, I made a mistake. Keith, I made a
Uh-oh.
mistake this morning before we started this. Last night I had some Indian food, and I'm a huge fan of Indian food. I'm a huge fan of every food. It doesn't matter. Huge fan of food. But we tried out this new Indian place, and when you try out a new restaurant, Indian Thai, you got to get the spices right. You're like, can I handle 8 Thai spicy? You probably can't, especially if you're a pale skinned white boy like me. You probably can't handle a number 8 on the Thai spicy scale. So I dialed it back here. Went a 3 out of 5 for this tiki masala that I got yesterday, and it was a little spicy. This morning I woke up, a little hungry for before the pod, and got that tiki masala out of the fridge, warmed it up, had it, and now my face is on fire. The 3 tiki masala not helping me today at all on this podcast, that's for sure.
Wait, you're saying that was a 3?
Yeah. Oh yeah. A 3
Oh
out
my
of
God.
5. A 3 out of
Oh,
5.
okay, okay, fair enough,
Yeah, I
fair
think
enough.
think Thai, they do a 10 scale a lot. I don't know. It
Mm.
depends on the restaurant, right?
Bro, I love a good tikka masala. I love Nepalese food, Thai food. Thai food's probably my favorite actual like food outside of like pizza. Um, but bro, I run spicy, spicy. I'll tell them Thai
Ooh.
hot, and they look at me and they're like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, I know. I don't look like I can handle it, but I don't want that white boy Thai hot. I want that like Thai hot." And they'll go back, tell the cooks, and you'll see him like peek around the corner sometimes. Like, is this guy crazy? Let's see if he eats it. I'd be sweating, and they're like, "Is it hot enough?" I'm like, "I've had hotter," and they just laugh. They think it's hilarious.
Dude,
Dude,
I love it.
on the spicy note, dude, I just got a bunch of dried peppers. I got like dried habanero, these scorpions, Carolina Reapers, like all these crazy peppers. And to your note, I took a Carolina Reaper, which runs anywhere between like 1.8 and 2.5 million on the Scoville unit, and I crushed a whole one up and put it in my taco salad the other night. Bro, that was the hottest one so far. Each day I'm trying a different one, and I took a little break from the spice last night because I was like, dude, like that was kind of gnarly, and my gut wasn't happy with me yesterday for doing that.
Oh man, that's epic. That's epic. Yeah, I couldn't handle that. I remember being a kid and always doing like the challenges, like eat this ghost pepper, man, in the middle of biology class. I think my 10th grade year, just chowing on a ghost pepper, messing me up for a while. Hey, but you mentioned something earlier. You said your pizza is your go-to, and I know we're on a food subject. We should probably start talking thrash, but real quick, I think about this a lot. These are the things that like cross my mind throughout the day. If you could eat one food for the rest of your life, but you could have the different variations of that food, what would it be? And for me, pizza and burgers are my top two. Top two. I can't decide. Some days, like I have a great pizza, and I'm like, dude, I'll eat pizza every day for the rest of my life. And other days, it's a burger. Like there's so much variation with a burger that you can make happen.
Yeah, dude. So I love this question. And it's funny, I was just in Portugal with our boys from Shredding Sassy, and I ran around the country with Ollie, and we saw all kinds of different areas and stuff. And we got on this subject. You know, my wife and kid were with us, and his girlfriend was with us, and we were all talking about it at dinner. And his girlfriend is all about burgers. She's like, if you could eat, same question, she's like, I would do burgers. And Ollie and I are both pizza guys, hands down. Like, I love a good burger, especially like double patty with the right cheese, some jalapeno, some bacon. Bro, I mean, you're talking my language. Throw a grilled pineapple on there. Now we're messing around with the goods, right? But I'm a pizza guy. I love pizza. I've loved it my whole life. I love so many different variations of it. There's no such thing as a bad slice, in my opinion, as long as the mixture is right. It's not too saucy and that sort of thing. But yeah, pizza's definitely my go-to. And if I could even throw in like a pizza ice cream combo, like have my pizza, finish it with ice cream, or even like an affogato coffee ice cream, bro, like I'm a foodie. What can I say? But I love pizza. I could live on pizza hands down.
I'm so excited to have this conversation right now. So you're in Aspen. You get to travel a lot. Uh, is the pizza selection in Aspen pretty solid? So here, the reason I ask, here we have a Detroit style pizza place. We have New York style here. I'm in Dallas, right? There's a lot of selection here, but Detroit style pizza isn't something I had ever growing up. And dude, I think it's my favorite. Detroit style pizza. You know, the deep dish, the square pieces,
Oh,
thicker
yeah.
pizza. It's so good.
Yeah, so, like, we call it Chicago style here in the, West, Midwest, whatever, at least that's what I grew up on was, like,
A little
that
deeper,
deep
yeah.
dish.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's that
yeah,
Chicago style. Bro, I love that, especially when it's, like, crispy cheese around the sides.
yeah.
We have a rad, Chicago style pizza place up it's a little bit of a ways away, it's called Propaganda Pie, and it's, gosh, I'm drawing a blank on there's like this little micro town on your way up into the mountains, but that is by far, in my opinion, the best deep dish I've ever had. But then again, I don't get to go to Chicago and that kind of those areas that often. But I love a good thin, like New York style slice, kind of greasy, if I'm being honest. Like I love thin crust. I don't love super crispy thin crust, if that makes sense. Like I kind of like it to still be just a proper crust, but I like thin crust for sure. We have a couple good pizza joints. New York, there's a place in Aspen called New York Pizza. It's been around for like 30 years. You can buy it by the slice. You get these monstrous slices. Those guys crush it, especially after the bars are closing down. Like, I mean, it's a line out the door. We don't have a ton of options here in Aspen for pizza. Those are probably the two best known around here, which is kind of tough because I do get to travel the world and like you go to places like Italy where it's like you get a whole pizza. It's just like no matter where you go, corner spot, restaurant, whatever, they're always proper. And it's like €4 for an entire pizza. And you're just like, bro, let's go. Like it's my jam. Like I could live on pizza. Freaking love it.
Absolutely. Dude, I
It's
love
like,
talking about it with you, and I'm excited about it. You're excited, man. What are we doing here if we're not talking about things we're super stoked about? Go ahead. I see you're excited. Like, go. Tell me.
well, now that we're on the subject, what's your favorite toppings, bro? Like, let's get to it.
Oh man. I didn't see this going this way today. You know, I am
Me neither.
very I, very classic pepperoni cheese, but anything, man, anything, dude. I'll do anchovies. I'll do supreme with everything on it. You know, man, I'll even dabble with a little bit of ham and pineapple. Don't hate on pineapple on
You're
pizza.
a
I'll dabble.
Hawaiian guy.
I'll
All
dabble,
right,
man.
all
I'll
right.
dabble. I'll dabble.
I'm gonna get haters for this, I know it, but I really don't care. I'm a full-on pepperoni and pineapple guy. Like, if you like the Hawaiian ham and pineapple, give the pepperoni pineapple a try. Like, it is bomb.com in my opinion. I love grilled pineapple. I like pineapple on anything really. So, pepperoni and pineapple is actually my go-to, but standard, same deal, like pepperoni guy for the most part.
Well, we just lost, I think, 10 viewers and maybe like 15 followers. No, man, I feel the same way. I love it. I love it. Hey, but I want to reach back to something you mentioned up in the earlier part of this show before we got into the pizza talk, the Thai food, the Thai spicy. White boy can't have the Thai spicy, but you can. I love it. Tell me about Portugal. You were out there for like 10 days, man. I was texting you. You're out in the mountains. I don't even know what was happening.
Yeah, yeah. So, we try to do at least one family trip outside the country every year. Just take JP and get him out into the rest of the world. We live in a bit of a bubble where we live. So, yeah, we got ourselves out there and got to chill and hang out. And, our boy Ollie's out there, Josh Odyssey's out there, Jake is out there. And it was great, man. So I hit up Ollie. We were originally supposed to go to Costa Rica, but we've been to Costa Rica. And my wife at the last minute was kind of like, hey, like maybe we should try Portugal. And so I hit up Ollie and was like, hey, you know, can we make this work? And he was like, absolutely, come out. So we stayed with him the whole time. Excuse me. And he was just super accommodating. His girlfriend is Portuguese, so it was really cool because my son has food sensitivities and allergies and stuff. So she was able to help us kind of navigate those waters, which was awesome because you just don't get that kind of help. But The hospitality was amazing. We got to see a bunch of the country, got some surfing, went over to Madeira, which is down by Morocco, actually, little island down by Africa and Morocco area and all of that, which was super cool because it's kind of like the Hawaii of the EU. And yeah, it was sick. Like hiking, palm trees, like I said, surfing, amazing food. Got to sit down with our fearless founder of Shredding Sassy, Josh, or better known as Odyssey. And our boys got to play together. His boy and my boy met for the first time. It's so funny because they're so similar in age, not only age but just personality. They're just two like gung-ho boys, which is so sick. So we spent time with them as well. It was his wife's birthday, so we spent the day just hanging and chilling doing that. But got to really sit down with Odyssey and kind of chat with him about the project and pick his brain a little bit and have an open conversation. And it was great. Like I love that guy. I love the family. I love Ollie. And so it was really cool to just introduce my family, not only to Portugal, but the Shredding Sassy family a bit more. And yeah, it was great. It was absolutely great.
Yeah, I'm really excited that you got to go over there. And as many people know, Shredding Sassy is kind of one of our main promoters in this Thrash Talk effort, and we're really excited to have their backing. What we did for our latest X account, we just created an X account and trying to increase our followers. We teamed up with Shredding Sassy to give away a lifetime membership to their social club. And what the Shredding Sassy social club is, it's a group of geographically dispersed shredders all coming together for the same thing, sharing that love for action sports, that skateboarding, snowboarding, mountain biking, anything you can think of. Let's get out there and do it. But what they have things like watch parties in the Discord. You and I talked about it yesterday. Red Bull Rampage watch party coming in the Shredding Sassy Discord on October 10th and 12th. Live events. You've been to a couple of them. I've only been to one. I've been to Shredfest. You've been to Shredfest. You've been to a Portugal event already. All kinds of great stuff, loyalty points, giveaways, and much, much more. But what we did is we partnered with them for a giveaway, lifetime membership to the social club to have access to things like those watch parties, those events, discounts from 25 partner brands, really great stuff. And I'm excited that right now we get to announce the winner of that lifetime membership receiving that Sassy NFT. So you ready for it, man?
Bro, let's go. I was thinking we'd wait to the end and make everyone just hold out.
Should we, so they don't bail on the show? They got to hang out. And do they got to comment? Do they got to comment in?
I mean, I see comments just flowing in from X on our, because we're live streaming to X and my Instagram at the moment. I mean, let's see. What do you guys think? Because we can see your comments right now, and we might as well talk to the folks. Like they say, yes, LFG. That's from what, Caddy the Bean. She's throwing it out there. I mean, do we want to pick right now, or do we want to make y'all wait? I mean, I like anticipation. I like getting people to wait for things because I'm so impatient for everything. I don't know. What do you think, Sleep? Oh, we got.
This is Caddy the Bean. This is a beautiful Sassy. I love it. We got Tade. Oh man, they're coming in too fast for me to see, but it's saying wait till
the end. 100%.
Oh man. All right. They're coming in too fast and I can't put the ones down that we already have up. Oh my goodness. I love it. All right, here we go. We're going to wait a little bit longer, but I'm going to show it to you again. It's an NFT. It's a lifetime membership to the Shredding Sassy Discord. It's a beautiful pine one. Again, it gets you a lot of great stuff. So it should come up here in a second. What do you think about it, Keith?
I actually love this pine, and I'll be honest, bro, until you and I were just chatting a few minutes ago, I didn't realize we were giving away a lifetime membership. So huge shout out to Shredding Sassy. Like, I love this pine. Like, if you're into NFTs, awesome. If you're not, awesome, whatever. But like, I love Sasquatches. I love the lore behind it all. I love UFO talk. I love aliens, all this stuff. And so like, one of the reasons I'm a part of the social club is just because of the lore behind our mascot, like I love Sasquatch, Yeti, Canadians call it Sam Squanch. Like, let's go. But the pine's sick. It actually took me forever to get my hands on a pine, and the fact that that one's blindfolded is kind of how I walk through life. Just the blinders on. So I actually love this one. I'm stoked on it.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Well, here's what we'll do. We'll wait till closer to the end of the show to announce the winner. If you've been watching since the beginning, I might have accidentally flashed it across the screen earlier. So, ooh, my bad.
Ooh.
But it's back there. We'll announce it at the end. Keith, you mentioned your time in Portugal. You talked a little bit about the surf. I know that Portugal has some of the biggest waves in the world. What else do they have? I'm sure that they have a great mountain biking scene. I'm not sure there's much snow in Portugal. What other kind of action sports prowess do they have there?
Yeah, so they do actually have a little ski resort there, but it is completely weather dependent. I don't think they make snow up there. I could be wrong, but I've talked to their head coach a few times, the Portuguese Paralympic team or Paris snowboard team, and he actually coached for Brazil as well. But he was saying like, yeah, some years we get snow, some years we don't. So they generally train outside of the country just because it is what it is. But yeah, mountain bike scene is massive in Portugal, dirt bikes, all that kind of stuff. And when we went down to Madeira, or Madeira for my Western folks that can't roll their R's, dude, that place is so sick. Like, it takes about 4.5 hours to drive around the entire island, but it's world renowned mountain biking, world renowned hiking. And then also you can get some surfing in down there, but also world renowned scuba diving. So something that I learned while I was down there, I actually don't scuba dive, but my wife does. And so had we kind of understood that a little bit better and sooner, probably would have booked her a scuba experience because she's big into diving. But mainland Portugal, standard, very big in surfing. Golf is actually really huge out there. Mountain biking is still big on the mainland. It's really kind of an outdoorsy country. And I'll tell you right now, if you haven't been, you got to go. That place is absolutely amazing. The food is phenomenal. Coffee's some of the best I've had around the world. Like
Really?
you'd expect, yeah, man, like you'd expect France and Italy to be like top notch above everyone else. And not saying they're not. I'm just saying like Portugal is like full on swinging for the fences with their coffee game. And you can't get a bad cup. I mean, every gas station has like a top notch espresso machine. They'll pull you a shot for €1. It's not like here where you go get, I don't even know, like a latte or cappuccino and you're paying $8. You want an extra shot, that's another $2.50. Like, they're just like, to go coffee, you only get it at the gas stations. That's the other thing. Like, they're like, takeaway, why don't you just sit down? It's a little bit slower pace, but dude, I love it. I
Holy
like
cow. Wait,
that
hold
country is
on.
amazing.
I thought coffee was supposed to suck. I wake up every morning, black cup of coffee, donut shop in the Keurig or straight out of the coffee pot. And it's supposed to wake you up. It's supposed to be like, oh, and kind of get you ready for the day. Isn't that how coffee's supposed to be? Am I doing it wrong?
Bro, we've been talking about this, and I'm a firm believer that coffee shouldn't suck. Like, there's a good thing as a great cup of coffee, and there's a great thing as a shitty cup of coffee, if we're being honest. Um, I think the general concept of coffee is, oh, it doesn't taste good. It fires me up because it doesn't taste good. I think most people are just drinking bad coffee. And so, in my opinion, it should taste amazing. I like it after a good meal, just a nice little digestif, if you will. And, I'm the kind of guy, after jumping on the cold brew train for so long, I like a nice little bit of heavy cream in my coffee. Something about it just like makes it so smooth and delicious. And it's almost more of a treat than just fire me up. But you want to get fired up, you want to wake up, go jump in a cold plunge, bro. Drink a
All
good
right.
cup of coffee. Do yourself some favors. I'm gonna send you some beans from our roaster out here because you should treat yourself to a good cup of coffee and experience that.
Please do. Please
None
do.
of this.
I need something easy. I need something that's not going to take forever to make, something that I don't have to like grind up and smash. I don't even know. Like I was grinding like this and I was smashing like this. It was probably a little graphic for the viewers who are watching and not just listening. I don't know how to do coffee like that. But whatever it is, as long as it's easy, as long as I can get the cup in, 5 minutes, I'm happy and I can make it happen. So dude, I'd appreciate some beans. And if anybody else has any ideas on, like easy coffee that tastes good and gets the job done, wake me up in the morning, please let me know in the comments, DM me, whatever you got to do.
Yeah, man, I'll get you some beans. You might have to get a grinder and a French press, but it takes 4 minutes at the end of the day. Well, it depends on how long you take to boil your water, but 4 minutes, you
Perfect.
know.
Love it. Love it. So, hey, you mentioned everybody should go to Portugal. I'm trying to get out there next June or July in line with the NFC Lisbon conference to go out to kind of meet some community members from Shredding Sassy, hopefully meet some of our Thrash Talk community members, some of our Thrash Talk listeners, and kind of talk to them about some of the things that we have planned and we have going on in the future. Keith, we talked a little bit about Josh Odyssey from Shredding Sassy. I know we're going to have him on next week, and I'm really excited to chat with him. What else do we have coming down the pipe?
Yeah, dude. So first of all, just the fact that we're gonna have Odyssey on, I'm so pumped because such a great dude, so passionate about his project. And when I sat down with him week or two ago and actually talked business, talked shop with him, I saw it in his eyes, man. I broke bread with the guy a few different times and I saw it in his eyes. I saw the passion behind what he's doing and I'm fully in. Talk about Shredding Sassy for a sec. We've got the whole hat line coming out. Super stoked on that. We talked a bunch of different ideas for hats and it's going to be sick. Like I'm a hat guy. I'm wearing my jujitsu hat today. I might be wearing floral pattern hat tomorrow, bike park hat the next day. But I love hats, and so it's one of my favorite accessories. So he's talking about doing that, and then obviously pins, coming out with all these different lines of pins, collectors pins, all that kind of stuff. And we're talking about pins, like trading pins, not writing pins, pins. I'm a massive collector of pins, and so when they told me that, I was like, bro, let's go. They just ended their competition for people to enter their concept for a pin. And I believe Friday they'll be announcing that winner. And that person will get like 10 of their pins made and handed to them, plus made and then put into the squat shop and all that other stuff. So it was just cool to sit down with Josh and actually just hang out with him. No real agenda until we actually did need to talk a little business. But it was so cool to just hear his passion behind it, why he's so stoked. And it fired me up, bro. I'm like, let's go. I really want to help him. And the fact that it's not just like, a lot of people have a bad taste in their mouth for NFTs and all this other stuff. And I get that, whatever. Like, I don't know the first thing about them. I like art just in general. And so that's always been my appeal. Like, if you can make some money from it, cool. Like, try not to lose money from it, cool, whatever. But the appeal to me is the social club aspect. The fact that people are pumped on extreme sports, and maybe they don't even do extreme sports. Maybe they're just that average consumer that's just like mind blown that someone can, body varial 900 in a mega ramp or on a skateboard, or someone's quad 1600 on a snowboard, or take Nick Gepper, for example, going from slope style to super pipe and doing it in a way that's fun and really like challenging the industry a little bit. When you have the average consumer that's blown away by this stuff and they just like it, like that's so cool to me because they're dispersed around the entire world. This is a global thing where people can just hang out and talk shop about extreme sports, whatever their jam is. Maybe it's skydiving, mountain biking, surfing, whatever. The fact of the matter is the social club has like this common ground, the commonality of just the love of the extreme sports. And that's what I love about it. I'm a social butterfly. I love meeting people, chatting with people, talking the thing that gets me fired up, which is extreme sports. And so that is my major appeal with it. And I get it's not for everyone, but the support and love of athletes is something that always we could always gain more from.
100%, 100%. So I let you go there. I've been trying my butt off to find this one photo you posted the other day, and it's going to be hard for people to see, but I do have it up in the background. Let me share my screen. It's the photo of you with all of your pins, and let me see if I can fire it up here. Give me one
Oh
sec.
yeah, it's black and white. It's
Oh
black and
my gosh,
white.
there it is. You're gonna have to zoom in a little bit, maybe take a screenshot of this and zoom in, but this is all Keith's Olympic pins. This guy is a collector, and that's one really dope thing about the pins coming out. Shredding Sassy's trying to do the hats like sneakers. We want you to collect them, or they want you to collect them. And then the pins are going to be like ripping packs, like ripping Pokemon cards or baseball cards. You never know what you're going to get. And there's going to be different rarities to all of them. That trade game's going to be real. The after market sale is going to be real, man. It's going to be really, really cool. So anyways, Keith, dude, that's a dope picture. I love it. Where's that from?
Bro, that's not even all my pins. That was just what I was wearing that day in Beijing. Uh, so it's funny because like we start US team, you start with 25 of your pins. Like ours are US Paris snowboard or whatever, and then you figure out a way to trade them. And I've told this story before. I'll tell it again real quick. My team day one went down and like completely devalued all my team pins. So I had to come up being a massive collector of pins, like if you devalue your pins right off the bat, you got to come up with a whole new game plan to like figure out how to trade pins. And especially in Beijing, like the Chinese were their best pin traders on the planet, really good negotiators. It's a big thing over there. And they were tough negotiators. And so my pins got devalued almost immediately. So I had to come up with a whole new game plan to create a value for what I had. So I started with 25 pins. I ended up with, probably around 400 or 500 pins by the end. I was probably wearing about 200 in that picture, something like that. Yeah, I ended up with complete sets. I think I sent maybe in the Slack thing. I sent a picture of me doing one last deal with this guy that I found that had complete sets, and it's so funny because it is a full-on community out there. Pin trading's like its own weird sub community of life that is great. But I don't even know where I was going with this. You know where I was going? I was going to a medal ceremony. I was watching some of my teammates who like had crushed it that day, and when I walked in, we were a little bit late, and the crowd instantly just started filming me because I was the pin guy. And I was watching one of my teammates get a gold medal, and I look over and I see all these phones on me, and I'm just like hundreds of people filming me, and I'm like, what is going? Oh yeah, the pins. The end, I got bombarded by people. I'm trading pins like a crazy man. We're not supposed to be like closing the distance with people, or they're not supposed to be closing the distance with me. The police come in, start shoving people off of me. I'm like, screw you, I'm trading pins, blah, blah, blah. And then this other cop come marching over to me. I thought I was going to get arrested. And I'm like, please, just one more. This guy really wants to trade with me, and I want to trade with him. And he's like, do your thing. I want to trade. And, very broken English. And I was like, you hold what you got. And I ended up getting a police officer pin and badge from him. And so I got a police officer's badge from Russia. I got a police officer's badge from China. I'd never got a police officer's badge in Korea, and I was trying to because I got one in Russia 4 years before. So I'm a psycho when it comes to pins. I
Dude,
absolutely love them.
I love that story, and I don't think you've ever told it on Thrash Talk. You've definitely told it in X spaces that we've had, however, not on Thrash Talk. I'm glad you told it here. I'm stoked for the Sassy pins, and stoked to hear about your pin exploits in the future. We got the Olympics coming up again in 2 years. I don't know, maybe what is it? What's the Italian police that Carbonari or something like that? An Italian police badge would be pretty sick. Hopefully you can get
That
it
would be
and
sick.
show it live on Thrash Talk from Italy.
You know what I need? And if anyone out there has the connect, I would be so in your debt. I need that Snoop pin from France. Snoop Dogg had his own pin. It's so sick. And I've been racking my brain of like, how can I figure out a way to like get this pin? Because it's like, to me, that's one of the all-time coup de grace of pins. Like, I need that Snoop Dogg pin. I will trade him any number of pins for that one pin. Like, I mean, I've got some sick ones that are impossible to get your hands on. So
Do we
anybody
know?
out there that has a connection with Snoop Dogg, let him know I need his pin. I'm known as the Kingpin, or the Pin King. That's what they were calling me in Beijing, both. I'd walk down the streets and they'd yell it, help a brother out. Hook me up with Snoop. Let me get that pin because I need it so bad.
Oh, this is my favorite. This is my favorite. So, how many? So, I imagine Snoop was the one that started out with these pins. I have lots of questions. So, I mean, how many pins did he have? And let's just start with that. Do you know how many pins are out there? How many Snoop pins are out there in the world right now?
I have no idea. All
Okay.
I know is there was a video, some pictures and stuff going viral of the Snoop Dogg pin. And it's like him blowing rings, smoke rings, and they are the same colors as the Olympic rings.
Oh, that's so perfect.
I'm not even kidding, bro. I need this pin so bad.
Oh man, find
I'll
it for
do
him.
find it. Help me out, you guys.
Find it for
Please.
him. Find it for him. He's got lots to trade. He's got lots to trade. So, all right, just one more quick question on this subject before we move on. How do you devalue pins? So you said there, you got there. I don't remember if it was Sochi, if it was Pyeongchang, Beijing. You said some of your teammates, kind of devalued your pins. How did that happen?
Well, it wasn't there, like, they didn't do it intentionally. They know how big pin trading is. I'm one of the older guys on the team. They know I'm a psycho for it. And so they decided they were going to get in the game too, and like it becomes a competition. Everything becomes a competition on my team. And I think they were just trying to go down and get some sick pins. Like, nothing against what they did, right? But they went down and they just started trading them out. And so the problem with like just going out and making some instant trades is like you might make some bad trades. The whole thing about making a pin valuable and the way you get so many is like it becomes something that like you can't really. It's just like currency, it's supply and demand. If you can't get your hands on something, people will give you 2 or 3 to 1 of a trade, right? And so they were out there just trading them. And so because they kind of flooded the market with them right off the bat, all of the people that I would have wanted to trade my pins to that had these really cool ones, and everything from like different types of moon festivals and flower festivals, really cool ornate designs. They wanted nothing to do with me because I didn't have the pins they wanted. So pretty much just flooding the market with something. And that's just standard economy, right? You flood the market with
Exactly.
something, supply and demand becomes not valuable at the end of the day. And so they created inflation for me right off the bat. And so I had to like full on just figure out what to do to get the trades I wanted it. But I came out on top in the end.
Love it.
It's crazy because Russia and Belarus got sent home from those games due to, conflict and all that kind of stuff. And I ended up getting the Belarus chef de mission pin, which chef de mission is like the top boss of every team. Like, for lack of a better term, they run the entire delegate of their team. They're the top boss, and they have their own pin. US team has chef de mission pin. Every team generally has a chef de mission pin, but Belarus got sent home. And so I found somebody who had one. And I'm not even kidding, 2.5 hours of negotiations for this one damn pin. But I ended up getting it. I pulled out some big guns. I traded this gal. She was actually, I think she was the handler of the Great Britain team. Which helped me because, I'm friends with all those boys. So, but
Sure.
I mean, I'm not even kidding, like 2 hours of negotiations. And I brought out some big guns. I made a big trade for it. That was like a 5-to-1 trade of some
That's wild.
really good pins,
That, that that's wild. So how many pins do you have currently? How many pins you have currently?
total.
Yeah, total.
No idea.
Okay, like
I
2,000.
actually don't know. In the thousands.
In the thousands. Okay.
Yeah.
How many of those pins are non-negotiable? They're going to be like pounding them into your casket next to you. How many of the 2,000 are non-negotiable, not up for trade, not up for sale?
I'll say this because I am such a collector and trader, and I love the art of the dance of the negotiation process. I wouldn't say I have any actual pins that aren't that aren't negotiable, just for the simple fact, like, you come correct with the right deal, like, I'm all about doing the dance. I love haggling and negotiating. So I would say my police officer badges, those would be really hard for me to get rid of because they're actually not pins, they're police officer badges. And I actually got the Medal of Honor from a sniper in Russia in a pin trade. And so that would probably be off the table. I got all three of the Russian Secret Service pins when I was in Russia. And so they're gold plated, bronze plated, and silver plated pins. And I got them from a Russian Secret Service guy who had been watching me approach other Secret Service guys, which they're not supposed to be approached. But I kept doing it, trying to trade pins because I knew they had these three pins that and this guy finally had been, he must have been watching me for days. He finally walked up to me and he just like, here, take these, leave us alone kind of thing. I was like, cool, you want to trade? And he's like, no, frig off, get out of here kind of deal, you know?
Are you KGB? Are you KGB? I'm like kind of convinced here that you're just kind of like laying it out for me that you are a Russian asset here on Thrash Talk, trying to learn about all the thrashing secrets that our guests bring.
Oh, dude. You know, I like leaving people wondering, but I also wouldn't want that heat. So no, I am not KGB. I am not double agent in any way, shape, or form. I don't need that heat. I don't want that heat.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate. Hey, you know what I'd like is, one time when it's just you and I here doing another one of these, maybe as we get closer to the next Olympics, that you can kind of bring on some of your favorites and show them to us and kind of walk through the experience a little bit more. Doesn't have to be anytime soon, but I definitely love to hear more in the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love it.
Dude, I'm looking at the Instagram live from my account right now, and Kai Kuna, Kai, he's Olympian. He works for WADA. I think you still work for WADA, World Anti-Doping Agency. If I'm mistaken on that, I apologize. But he threw in a comment about my pin trading. He was there personally. He saw a lot of it. He said, "This man does love haggling. I've never seen such a strong pin game from anyone in my life." I'm telling you, bro. Let's go, Kai. Thank you for the shout out, bro.
Love it. Absolutely love it. And I'm real glad that we are live everywhere right now. We're live on X, we're live on YouTube, we're live on Instagram. Glad that we're able to do that and work to grow Thrash Talk into the podcast that we really know that it can be. We've had a lot of great guests over the last 6 months that we've been doing this. We've had Bob Klein, we've had Bob Burnquist, Nick Gepper, you mentioned earlier. Nick, man, has had some awesome content lately out in the desert with his skates into the what the heck's it called, the inflatable. Man, we've had some great stuff in the past, and I know we have some great stuff coming in the future. I was hoping that you'd want to kind of look at some of those clips and some of those videos that we've been posting from our past shows, and kind of talk about their effect on the action sports world.
Yeah, I would love to. I'd love to. I mean, that's what this is just ordinary conversations with extraordinary people. That is our goal. It's nothing. First of all, this is a passion project, right? Like you and I, we do it just because we enjoy having conversations. We love having conversations with people who've done things within their industry and somewhat against the grain sometimes. They're thrashers. What do you expect? These people created waves not by just floating, but by splashing around and making noise and doing things that most people never thought were possible. And it's so cool. Like like you said, we've had Bob Burnquist, Bob Klein, Nick Gepper. We've had JBM from Great Britain, Paris Snowboard, Ollie Hill, Evan Strong, Aaron Leibowitz, like all of these people have done something awesome within the industry. And we just get to sit down and have ordinary conversations. Wherever it goes, nobody knows. But wherever it ends up, that's where we are, bro. And I'm all about it. Like I got no time for nonsense, but I got all the time in the world for nonsense with the right people, if that makes sense.
100%. these people are changing the game. Aaron Leibowitz bringing surf back to snow. Bob Klein, one of the OGs of snowboarding. Snowboarding would not be where it is today if it weren't for Bob Klein and his friends out in Tahoe back in the day. Tahoe City Waste Management, the first half pipe, quarter pipe there, snowboarding would not be where it is today without those guys out there kind of pushing their limits and changing the game. So I love it. And I want to pull up this video of Bob that we posted recently on X on YouTube. And I believe you posted it on Instagram today because there is some controversy surrounding it and the subject. So I'm going to play it here right now. Then I want to chat with you a little bit about it. Is that cool?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go. Here we go.
Every kid at the top, going to the Olympics, I bet it's way different in the para world because you guys don't have the same sponsor revenue and things like that. But it's like every kid is from a rich family, every one of them. Look at the last how many Olympics, and all those U.S. team kids are all from wealthy families. And, nothing against them. That's great that they facilitated stuff for their kids. But, that contributes to making the sport unattainable and continuing the rich white guy image.
Dude, I mean, such a powerful statement right there, right? Like, like Bob, love him, hate him, whatever. What I loved about that conversation is he had a real talk with us from start to finish. And it went really long, actually. It was one of our longer podcasts. And he could have gone for 4 more hours. That was the beauty of it. But he actually spoke real. And regardless of what you think of the guy, or regardless of any of that, like what he did was he was asking real questions about the industry and showing the direction it's gone and kind of the discomfort that it's created and an inequality of opportunity for the general population. It's expensive. It's so expensive. And, to generalize it, it is a rich person sport at the end of the day. I mean, just an entry level snowboard setup, boards, boots, bindings, gloves, goggles, helmet, and outerwear, you're looking at $1,200 to $1,500, if not $2,000, right? Maybe that's not entry level, but that's like good gear that will last you a while. And then you look at season passes and day tickets. You're looking at $180 for a day ticket. Season pass, 2-3 grand. And that's just to get you on snow. That's not even to get you to the mountain or in a mountain town so I really appreciate his candidness with us and just the willingness to have a real conversation. I respect the hell out of the guy for it, to be honest.
100% love him and love that, he's bringing up these points that everybody should be talking about. Everybody should be thinking about, how do we change this? How do we make this sport more accessible to, people that don't have the, the funds that others have, right? To the non-rich white guys, right? How do we make this available to all? And I'm really interested to hear your thoughts on it, Keith, because I don't know. I don't live in a mountain town anymore. I used to be near one, but it is something that I don't see a really easy solution to the problem.
Yeah, and I really don't either, because at the end of the day, when you talk inflation and all this other stuff, I mean, how can you get away from it, right? Mountains got to make their money too. And generally speaking, like, I don't know about all mountains, right? But the majority of them, they're lucky if they break even, right? So that's where it comes into why it costs so much. I think, honestly, I think there should be better deals on gear, especially if, you're from a city program. I'm not even saying like underserved communities necessarily, but definitely for them, but just cities in general. Like, folks from the city need to be in the mountains too. They need to know what it's like to have that church aspect of being one with nature and getting to paint the canvas, as we heard Aaron Leibowitz talk about, because it is really truly like a mindfulness, active meditation. He goes over that so well in the episode with him that, like, I think everybody should have the opportunity to experience it. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. Go up and après, like I don't really care either way, but you should have the opportunity. And so I think there should be programs out there from the companies that are essentially controlling the industry as a whole to make that possible. Make it a little cheaper, give me your address. And if you're in the middle of a city somewhere, we'll give you a 50% discount or something like that. I really don't know. It'd be great if we at Shredding Sassy could do something a little bit more, whether it's I know we funded the Minnesota snowboard program, ski and snowboard program, I believe, or was it just snowboard? Either way, we sponsored a program last winter for the kiddos to be able to go up and get into USASA comps and train and all of that. And we need more of that, whether it's through Shredding Sassy or any number of organizations out there. Maybe we can get in with some more gear companies and see if we can just create those types of discounts for those people who may not be able to afford it right off the bat,
Sure. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't know. I really don't know. There's not an easy solution.
Those are all great statements. And again, I think it's going to take people like us talking about it, people on the bigger shows talking about it, and just kind of figuring out how we can work our way to the answer. I don't know what kind of government subsidies bigger mountains are getting, if they're getting any, and what kind of value can be passed down to the consumers from those. I play in a couple different hockey leagues here. And, one of the facilities, let's just say that I pay $60 to play there. They get government subsidies or subsidies from the city. And another one, I pay 200. So I am paying, a quarter of the price nearly for this one where they're getting government subsidies and paying, a lot more for this other one. So, obviously it's not the same. At a mountain, it'd be a much grander level. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. I just don't know any of that. Again, just want to bring it up and see if we can kind of push this narrative going forward. I agree. Yeah. Shredding Sassy sponsoring the Minnesota Select snowboard team, paying for the competition entries. Oh man, that's awesome. What can we do that's more? What can we promote? Who can we promote to do it themselves as well? Let's find one in Michigan. Let's find one in California. Let's find one in Utah that really could benefit from that. And let's spread our love far and wide to grow these sports in the areas that maybe they're not as well known or not as popular due to the cost.
Yeah, if anybody, I'll say this right now. I mean, I can't tell you what mountains are and aren't subsidized and stuff. I know, like in Canada, we competed at a spot called Whitehorse last year, and that mountain is actually owned by the town, and it's ran through a nonprofit. So everybody who works up there's a handful of people that I think make a wage, but it's mostly volunteers that run that little mountain. And it's sick because the town has all the control and that kind of stuff. But I was going to say, like, anybody out there has suggestions, please shoot us a DM on X, shoot us a DM on Instagram. You got Thrash Talk Pod on Thrash Talk Podcast on Instagram, Thrash Talk Podcast on X. Hit us up, Shredding Sassy. Anybody, hit me up personally at Grizzly Gabel or No Sleep. Hit us up and give us your ideas, because without these conversations, there's no discourse. We can't figure out a solution to simple problems. I want everybody to be shredding, and if that means the mountains are crowded, anybody who's got a problem with that, go to the backcountry, figure it out, get better, and go to the backcountry, because we need people to enjoy what I consider my church.
Absolutely, man. That's kind of one of my favorite, my favorite quotes of yours. You feel closer to God when you're on top of the mountain than anywhere else, man. And, following kind of your career and your growth, starting where you did to, oh man, sorry about the mic hit there, reaching to where you're at now. I mean, you were that kid that maybe didn't have that ease of access to snowboarding and a lot of action sports, and look where you're at now. So being able to provide, a pathway for others is something that I would like to see done. And I'm sure you would as well.
Absolutely. And again, hats off to Bob Klein for coming on here and speaking openly about it. And again, without the discourse, we can't create solutions, and it might be an uncomfortable subject for some people. Get over it. Like, it is what it is. So let's make it accessible for everyone. And um, I was that kid, an inner city kid that didn't have the options till I moved to Utah and went and lived with my dad. And he didn't know what to do with me. He's like, I'm putting skis on this kid immediately. Picked me up from the airport and took me straight to the mountain to slap skis on my feet. And I fell in love with it. I sucked at first, obviously, but I learned quickly. And when I switched to snowboarding, my dad hated it for a really long time. And I grew up in Utah where that skier versus snowboarder mentality was very strong and prevalent growing up there. But what I love about the industry nowadays, and I'll say this straight up, like I have just as many skier friends as I do snowboarder friends. And that was kind of one of those things in the early 2000s and whatnot. And, say 2008, 2009, I started really riding with a lot of skiers because they were rippers. I didn't care how they were sliding on the mountain. Be backwards on a saucer sled for all I care. Just don't hit me and have a good time. Like, let's go, and I feel like my generation did a really good job of kind of building that bridge and mending that, open wound, if you will, a little bit. And just, we're all sliding on snow. Who cares? And I love it. I love the industry. I get fired up, bro. I'm fired up today. I don't know if you can tell. I've had some coffee, but I had my cold plunge at like 6:30 this morning. It was freezing cold, and I've been fired up all day for this podcast. I've been waiting. But again, hats off to Bob Klein. Hats off to, Nick Gepper for coming on here. If you haven't seen that episode, he's hilarious. I love Nick, former slope style skier, switched over to super pipe. He's doing it in jeans. He's doing it his way. He's making it fun. He did the whole podcast in the bathtub without a shirt on. So if you've never seen Nick without a shirt on, maybe that's your chance. I don't know. But hats off to everybody. Hats off to Bob for coming on, Bob Burnquist, and talking about skateboarding and his passion and all of that. Just, dude, please keep coming on. I really have been enjoying it, and we have some banger guests lined up for you. And I think each week we're just going to release one name to keep you guys kind of in the mix. We're playing this anticipation game a little bit, but all I can tell you is, right now, because I know Sleep, you and I were talking about it. We were like, should we tell him? And I was like, I don't know. I kind of like keeping a little bit of a secret, but each week we'll give you guys the name of the next guest coming up. So next week, when we're on with Josh Odyssey from Shredding Sassy, our fearless founder, we'll let you know who our guest is going to be the following week. And all I can tell you is one of our guests coming up she'll be our first female athlete on here, our first female guest, an absolute banger of an athlete, like one of the absolute best in the world at what she does. I'm not even going to tell you what industry she's in just yet. Just know she's in an extreme sports industry. But I ran into her at the grocery store the other day. We were supposed to have her on a while back, but some things happened and we weren't able to make it happen. But I ran into her at the grocery store and we were chit-chatting for a little bit. I was all jet lagged from Portugal. And I was just like, hey, you still want to be on? And she was like, oh yeah, absolutely. So we just got to line it up. We're making it happen. It's coming very soon. And you guys are going to be stoked.
Man, I am stoked. It's going to be great, dude. Thank you very much for hosting with this with me every week. We're coming back next Tuesday, and who knows, maybe the Tuesday after that, maybe the Tuesday after that. We're flexible here on Thrash Talk. We're two dads. We got jobs, we got lives, but we're here talking thrash with you, hopefully once a week. But Keith, man, we really got to get back. We got to get back to that giveaway again. We did a little giveaway in partnership with Shredding Sassy to give away a lifetime membership to their social club. That comes in the form of a digital token or an NFT. And I'll pin it up to the top here again. I won't pin it. I'll just show it. And I think we got to make that announcement. So I don't know, Keith, what do you think?
Yeah, let's do it. Huge shout out to everybody on Instagram and X who are listening live. You can also, if you missed the live recording, you can always catch the recording on YouTube, on Spotify, on Podbean, on Apple Music. We're everywhere. I think we're on Amazon Music now.
We're on Amazon Music as well. Yeah, we're everywhere.
Yeah, so catch the recording if this is you're just now tuning in and you missed the last hour, we've got 266 on X live. I don't know on Instagram. It doesn't actually show me the true numbers. So, but I did see a massive list over on the gram as well. So massive shout out to you guys for just tuning in. Show us that love. Give us likes, follows, retweet or whatever they're called, re-exit or whatever. I don't know what the hell we're calling that. But jump into YouTube, subscribe to the channel because we need the love. If we're going to keep doing this is a passion project. We make no money. This is purely out of love and joy of having conversations with folks and showing you guys a little piece of our lives as well.
Absolutely.
So with that, what do you think? Twitter picker?
Let's go. Here we go. So I just ran the Twitter picker in the background a little bit earlier in the show, and I'm going to show it now. Congratulations to, when is it up? I'm saying that's pronounced no future. No future. It's got the D-Gens. Oh man, I'm losing it, man. I'm losing my voice here. The D-Gen Tunes, PFP. Congrats to no future. I will reach out to you on the side. Don't bother reaching out to me. I don't want any scammers trying to get after me. So if you reach out to me, I know you're a scammer. No future. I'll DM you. We'll make it work. Welcome to the Shredding Sassy Social Club. Welcome to the mob. And thanks for tuning in to Thrash Talk with us today. Keith, man, this has been a good one. It's been a long one. I think we're a little bit under an hour right now. I put this sweatshirt on today. I'll tell you what, living in Texas, man, I miss sweater weather, man. I'm a hoodie type of guy, moved down here from Northern California near Tahoe. And, as soon as it hits the 70s, I throw the hoodies on. As soon as it hits the 70s here. That's like 79.5 to 70. I'm definitely in a hoodie, But this morning when I woke up, it was cooler. I was like, hell yeah, hoodie. Right now, it's probably like 86. So I'm sweating a little bit. So we might have to close this thing down so I can peel off this sweater and let loose a little bit. But dude, again, just a major thank you for doing this with me. And man, I'm so excited for the future, man. Big things.
Dude, I'm fired up. I'm so fired up. Huge congrats to No Future. Again, Sleep will reach out to you. I won't because he's our ex guy for sure. But huge congrats to you, brother. Welcome to the club. And I can't believe you're in a hoodie in 70 degrees, bro. That's like tank top and flip flops. Came back from Portugal and we've been we hover right around, high 70s in the middle of the day. But in the morning, we're down to like 42, 43 degrees. And I'm like freezing my tail off. So I can't believe you're in a hoodie already, bro. I'm still t-shirt in 60s. So hats off to you.
I'm jealous, but hopefully you and I get to kind of meet up a little bit later this year. Hopefully I can get out to Colorado to kind of see what you got going on. And, who knows, maybe we can team up for a trip for an event somewhere for Thrash Talk or for Shredding Sassy. Oh gosh,
bro, I'd love it. Everything. Wait. I wanted to give one more shout out today. I actually jumped on X the other day and saw that you and our boy TKB were doing the Bush League sports thing, bro. And I was in there. I think there was only 2 following at the time. It jumped all the way up to like almost 200 watching live. And I loved the show. I don't even follow hockey really. Like I'm kind of an Avalanche fan just for the simple fact that I live in Colorado. And you guys talked football, you guys talked hockey, and it was great. TKB, you're hilarious, bro. And I want to snowboard with you, hands down. If we can make it happen when I'm in Canada, let's go for a rip, bro. You are awesome. You guys do a great job over there. If you're not following the Bush League Sports channel, get after it. You're missing out. It's great. So massive shout out to him. I just wanted to throw it out there, show some love because I know he's a crusher and he's part of the fam as well.
Yeah, he's grinding. He's been down here in Texas with me filming some stuff for Shredding Sassy. He was at Shred Fest this past year and is really grinding on his action sports content platform, which is Bush League Media, Bush League Sports. Does a space every Sunday night talking hockey, talking football, and he really wants to get more into talking snowboarding and skateboarding. He was out in Paris at the Olympics. He went to the skate events, man. The guy's all over the place. Great individual. I think we're probably giving him a big head right now, so we better stop. He's got a great head of hair too. I'm real jealous of it with my hair. But just major shout out to TKB.
Yeah, right on. Right on. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Again, check us out on YouTube. Everything's streaming. Like I said, Spotify, Podbean, Apple Music. Where else? Yeah, I keep forgetting Prime, Amazon Music. Give us some love so we can keep doing this thing. We want to keep coming back every week. So much love to you all, and
Love
thank
it.
you, Sleep. Love
Yeah,
it,
thanks,
bro.
Heath. See ya. You.